Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today we're talking about tools that you'll rarely use that do come in handy. I'm going to kick it off with some series of photos first before we get to some of the tools that I have back here behind me. Let's go ahead and talk about Harmonic balance puller and installer tools. I believe the 3-jaw claw puller style and the installer are both Matco, but I believe Lisle actually makes those. The OEM one I picked up years and years ago, I want to say about 10 years back from AutoZone, and it has definitely come in handy. I've been using it. I think I only had to change one set of the bolts out one time because they got tweaked on a removal. Other than that, those things aren't widely used. I don't use them every single day. The only times you're going to use those is like on engine swaps when you're transferring the pulley from one to the other. You're going to use them anytime you do a cylinder head job. Those are 3 styles that I do recommend though. I haven't really ran into a situation that either one of those 3 would not actually do. And some rarities, the installer doesn't install pulleys for all pressed-on harmonic balancers. And with that being said, though it is kind of frowned upon, it's been widely utilized, which is just a piece of wood and a hammer to get it going and then pull it in with the bolt. I don't recommend doing this with a lot of the newer style engines though, because you could really screw something up. The old school small block Chevy engines or big block Fords or whatever, you should be fine and shouldn't have any real concern or worry about that. All right, then we're gonna get into the double flaring brake line toolkit. So, man, it's been a while since I've done a double flare or even a single flare. I think we did attempt to do one a few months back, and I say attempt because I made an attempt to do it and the brake line leaked, and then Tommy ended up doing it and then it leaked on him, so then Joey had to come back through and do it, and finally we got it right and it worked. But yeah, what a major chore. So I guess if you've been way out of practice, maybe take a little training time out and see if you can't try to double flare one on your own bench vise or something like that before trying to do it in the vehicle. Because I guarantee you guys, once you're in the vehicle, you're kind of in it to win it, and you only hope you have enough brake line to put that that banjo style fitting there, or union, sorry, that banjo union together in there, which I also know is extremely frowned upon. But in this particular instance, it already had one, so we just kind of tried to repair what was already there. I think it might have been on a trailer, or I think it was on a boat trailer or something like that. All right, let's talk about extractors for a minute. So I have the ones made by Irwin. Those are shallow, picked those up from O'Reilly's. I've got the deeper set. Those are made by Matco, but I do believe that Irwin sells a set. I also bought these Matco extractor combination wrenches, which I have used a handful of times. Somebody did make a comment in the video that you can find these on Amazon. They're made by a different company and they're a fraction of the cost. I will make sure to put all Amazon affiliate links down below for you guys to the tools that we're discussing here today. Should you have an interest in buying them, maybe I can get you a discount, or there's some coupons that are available since we are getting ready to step into November. And we all know what happens in November because it's already on the interwebs, Black Friday sales event. It's not just at the big box stores. Amazon has huge sales too sometimes. I'll make sure to put links down below for you guys to check them out. All right, power steering pump installer and removal tool. I use this a lot, but you guys know that I do a lot of cylinder head jobs here at the shop, and there's a lot of different situations where the power steering pulley needs to come off in order for me to do my job. So this is one of those tools that I use pretty frequently. In fact, I've had certain components replaced numerous times by Matco, and I think that's the reason why I went this route specifically. Hang on one second. Sorry, my rotor got done turning, so I had to go and reset it so it can turn one more time. I think I've only got one pass left. I get this question quite a bit, so I'm just gonna go ahead and answer it today, if that's okay with you guys. But I do get the question that, hey, how come you buy certain specialty tools from like Matco or Snap-on, and then how come there's others that you'll buy like on Amazon, whether it's Lisle or GEARWRENCH? Like this fan clutch wrench set that I have that was asked about in the last video. So I bought this from Matco before I knew that Lisle actually made it. Other tools I bought specifically online through Amazon simply because it was cheaper and there was a coupon code and I was able to get a hell of a deal on it. It's not to say that any one particular product is better than the other, because clearly we know that a lot of these products are rebranded. If we can go back to this power steering pump puller installer for a second, I'm actually extremely glad that I did buy this one from Matco because I do utilize it so much. These components wear out, I would say, at least once a year ish. I think that's a fair assumption. Once a year, these components wear out. And you can imagine what my frustration would be if I had to send them off every single time I needed them warranted, right? And I didn't really see a lot of these tools offered at any of the parts stores, though you can find a couple. But most of these you're either gonna find online or you're gonna find on the actual professional tool truck itself. Moving on, wheel stud installer tool. Okay, so yes, there's gonna be a rarity that somebody comes in where the lug nut's cross-threaded on there, and as you're coming off, it shears it in half, or you're pulling it in, or you yourself are installing the lug nut and bad things happen, right? This toolkit, though it's not wildly used on a day-to-day or even a week-to-week, and you hope not to see it, you know, in a given year if it's possible, but you will run into situations where you need to use it. Now, I've had this kit probably for the betterment of about 12 months, and I have yet to use it. Shane's the only one that has actually had one that came in within the last 12 months, but he has the kit as well. All right, we're gonna talk about Mityvac here for a split second. So I have Shane's Mityvac fluid extractor. You hook this up to shop air, push the nozzle forward, sucks fluid into the container, container's full, you dump it, right? Bulb goes up, it's full, cuts it off, will not pull fluid in anymore. I have one of these as well. I do believe it is at the house in storage. I gotta dig it back out. But that is an extremely handy tool. Not used on every single car, but used daily for sure. This is one of those things that you're just gonna love having. Another tool, now this, I don't have the hose set up for because it has fluid in it. Of course, it was dripping and I didn't want ATF everywhere. But this is the Mityvac fluid installer, okay? Now it's got a hand pump on here, so you pump it up to fill this thing up with pressure. You can put 4.5 quarts of fluid in here, has a hose, and there are some adapters. Let me grab these adapters for you real quick. Okay, so these are the transmission or rear differential, front differential fluid adapters that you can get. It's missing one, obviously it's not in its little spot, okay? But at any rate, these do come in handy as you're trying to fill up a transmission or a rear end. You're gonna want one of those because there are too many areas that you can't get into with just pouring it in. There's no dipstick, so you can't pour it in, you gotta push fluid up. Rear ends, there's not enough room to tilt the bottle, fluid's gotta go up and in, right? So this is one of those tools that I would strongly recommend. Yes, there is a 2-in-1 actually that Mityvac makes that can not only extract fluid, but push fluid in. The downside to that 2-in-1, if there was one, is you gotta clean it out. So if you're extracting the fluid and you're putting dirty, contaminated fluid in the container, you gotta dump that container out, clean it out, put the new fluid in, put it back together, and then switch the doodad over to push the fluid out. So it does come in handy. I prefer actually having two separate units, right? So I have one that's bad fluid coming out, and I have the other one that's good fluid going in. That way you don't have to worry about cross-contamination or anything like that. Speaking of Mityvac, the power steering air extractor. So this is a power steering adapter kit, and what it's meant to do is pull the air out of the system. So you opened up the power steering system, you're changing out a power steering line, or you're changing out the power steering pump, completely empty, you pour fluid in, there's air. So what you do is you take these nifty little adapters, you put it on top of the reservoir, use your extractor with the other adapter that it has, or you can use one of those Mityvac hand pump ones if you want. You attach it to this end, pulls all the air out, and now when you fire it up, it's not going, you know, and you risk damaging the pump. So these adapters were specifically made to pull the air out of the system, so that way you don't get very much whine in the beginning, maybe a little bit, then you road test, you come back, fluid's good, right? So this definitely a handy tool, but you don't use it all the time. You just don't. Another tool that you don't use all the time, now this thing obviously has seen some years, but this is a Matco electronic fuel injection pulse time kit that my boss has had for numerous years now. He's got his own little adapter and setup here, but basically you could set this up for 1 pulse per 400 milliseconds, 10 pulses, 3.5, or you can do continuous mode. And as it's pulsing, you can see if it's actually pulsing the same amount of fluid throughout each and every injector to see if there's a mechanical problem or possibly an electronic problem, right? If it's not pulsing at all, you know, you gotta go with that. So that's a tool that is extremely handy to have, and the shop's glad to have it. Another one, my rivet gun. You can see I just used it within the last week or so, installing a fuel pump sensor into this one, I think it was a Pontiac or something like that. But there was this huge heat shield that was underneath that was riveted to the body from underneath. So I had to drill out all the rivets. Luckily, I still had some 3/16 rivets, which are pretty common, right? And I was able to shoot them back in. Of course, it is Monster rebranded, and we all know what happened to them. So once this tool fails, pretty sure it's just done, right? But handy tool nonetheless. Get yourself one of these pneumatic rivet guns. Heat gun. So the heat gun does come in handy during certain situations, whether you're trying to use, this is bad, JB Weld, right? To put on something, maybe you want it to dry a little faster, so you take the heat gun, you apply a small amount of heat. I know, chemicals, yeah. At any rate, these also come in handy for heat shrink. So if you don't want to accidentally burn or melt other wires, you just take the heat gun and you just go over it. In fact, I'm actually thinking of using the 20% off coupon for today's sales event over at Harbor Freight to get the Hercules heat gun that we saw last video, because I get tired of dragging cord myself. But this Drill Master has worked out very well for the shop. I think I've had that thing for over a year. Another one, chassis ears. So this is just an Amazon special. My boss picked it up, right? These chassis ears do come in handy if you want to connect it underneath to the chassis, lower control arms, upper control arms. If you want to put it near or around any kind of drive shaft to see if you can't hear a noise, maybe on the backing, the mounting bracket for the rotor or something like that. You got various settings. The earphones, I think they did accidentally rip the cable, so they just put this little generic pair of earphones in there. And then of course there's this scope here that does have a little probe that you can also pick up noise from. I don't care for this, okay? I prefer the old mechanical style you just plug in like a doctor and use, but I do like the chassis ear setup. Speaking of which, Rob Dotter just did a stream not too long ago, and he has the new Pico Scope NVH setup, which I thought was pretty cool. Very expensive though, for how often you'd use it. If you were doing a lot of NVH, say like at the dealership where we had a lot of NVH concerns, I could see a lot of uses for that. Here at the independent shop though, the quickest way is usually just grabbing and physically moving something or smacking something with a hammer and seeing where it's coming from, right? We're taking it for a road test. The chassis ears is more of like our little last resort, but I do see some of the cool science behind what he's talking about, and I think it's a neat looking tool. Okay, last thing that we're going to talk about here, this Dorman fuel line repair kit for nylon fuel lines. I've had this thing for a few years now. In fact, I actually gave it to my boss for a Christmas present a few years back, and we've had it here at the shop. And there has been probably a half a dozen, maybe a dozen times in total within that 3 and 4 year window that I've been here now, between when I gave it to him, I think 3 years back. So yeah, about 3 to 4 years, somewhere in there when I gave it to him. We've used it just under about a dozen times. So, but it is extremely cool to have when you need it. I think the person that did the best tutorial on actually how to use this was SMA or South Main Auto. I will put South Main Auto's channel as well as Rob Doddard's channel down below in the description for you guys. Again, also make sure to check the description for those Amazon affiliate links to all the tools that we talked about today. See if I can't get you guys some deals or some coupons that are relevant to the tools that we talked about. I'm gonna go ahead and put my truck back together now that the rotor is done turning. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers and deuces.